Hey guys, it's Gabby. Welcome to my tutorial. Now, I know teeth is a very difficult thing for a lot of people to draw and paint, so I figured today I'll show you how to do both. This here is my official drawing that I'll eventually be painting. And here I have two simplified drawings to help me show you how to draw the lips. So I'll be pointing out the difference between a smile and a regular mouth. So normally your upper lip is kind of like a flattened, stretched out M shape, like this. And when you're smiling, your mouth widens a bit, and so the M shape becomes even more flattened and stretched out. So you can see the difference there. Your bottom lip is rounded as usual, and that doesn't change, but you'll notice the line in the middle of your lip is almost exactly the same as that line above the upper lip, and that's replicated under the upper lip of the smile and above the bottom lip of the smile. But on your bottom lip, the sides are kind of pointed upwards. I drew that dip a bit too deep. 1 second. So yeah, it's like that. It's kind of like one of those fancy brackets. Now I'll be talking to y'all about the teeth. First, you'll notice that everything kind of lines up. The middle of your upper lip, in between your teeth, and that little dip in your bottom lip there. So just note that. Now your two front teeth, they're the largest and they're kind of rounded at the bottom, so is the second tooth from the center, and you don't want to draw more than 5 teeth from the middle. By the third tooth, they become pointed at the bottom. Technically there's a 6th tooth right there, but there's so much shadow it's completely black when we start painting. And you'll notice your teeth get smaller as they go more towards the corners. Now with your bottom row of teeth, they don't exactly line up, as you can see, because they're smaller than your teeth in the top row of teeth. They only begin to line up in between the second and the third teeth there, and from there on. Then I started painting because I was going to be painting the mouth and I wanted you all to see it in the context of a face. But I'll be skipping this part out because it's not part of the tutorial. Right, so now you want to mix burnt sienna, cadmium red, and white, and just fill in the lips with that color. You'll notice there's like an almost white-ish line around the mouth. And I don't know why that is, but if you look in the mirror, you'll notice it. Now, people with darker skin tones have dark lips to match, and so I used a lot of burnt sienna in the mix, and here I'm adding in a bit of burnt umber around the edges and blending it in. But if you're working with someone with a lighter skin tone, you don't want to use burnt umber and you want to use less burnt sienna than I did in the mix. Just note that it's darker around the edges. That's why I added the burnt umber. So your upper lip is always darker than your lower lip. And so here you'll be seeing me adding in some highlights with white on the bottom lip. Kind of vertical rounded lines. And then I started shading in the upper lip, doing the same as in using a darker color around the edges and then adding in some highlight, but it's not nearly the same amount of highlight as the bottom lip, just mainly in the center. Then you want to mix burnt sienna and white and fill in the areas where the gum is visible, which is not over all the teeth, it's just like those 6 in the middle. Then you want to outline those kind of triangular shapes with just regular burnt sienna, and in the center of it you want to use white to add a highlight so it becomes 3-dimensional. Then you want to mix yellow ochre and white and just fill in all the teeth with that color, but only use a tiny bit of yellow ochre just to give it a little bit of a yellowish hint. The camera's barely picking it up, but you can add more if you want to emphasize how yellow the teeth are, like if you're doing a vagrant or something. Then I just took a tiny brush, burnt umber, and added some water, and I outlined all the teeth. The water helps you make the strokes thinner. And I filled in the corners with a mix of burnt umber and black. Now here you'll see me adding in some shadow to the teeth. I'm using a wash of mainly burnt umber and a little bit of black, and I'm just going around the teeth, but the teeth more towards in the corners have more shadow than the front teeth. So you'll notice, you see the two front teeth barely have anything, but the ones in the corners have more shadow. And your bottom row of teeth have even more shadow because the top row of teeth is kind of blocking light, and so you want to add more pigment in that bottom row of teeth. You can go in later and add in areas of white to add some highlight, but mainly to the teeth in the center. Next, I went in later and I put in more shadow to the teeth in the corner on the top row of teeth because I didn't think it was dark enough there. You see how much water I'm using. You want to use a wash to add in your shadows because it's teeth. You don't want to make it too dark, and the wash makes it less out there, makes it appear to be less dark. I hope you found this video useful. This is the finished product. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.